Hello, hello, and thank you for coming to today's training call provided by CI Web Group. I'm Jennifer Bagley, the CEO of Compliments International and CI Web Group. And today we're really going to concentrate on how to make your selection when looking at different web, internet marketing, web design, SEO, social media marketing firms, and so forth. So yesterday I had a great conversation with someone, and during the middle of the call she said, "You're not a salesperson, are you?" And I was like, "No, not exactly. More of a business strategist." And she said, "I know, because I'm trying to drag out of you what the next steps are. I'm ready to move forward, and I can't seem to get it out of you." So I kind of sat back for a minute, and I realized my approach is a little bit different. I have a very, very keen sense of needing to teach people how to make decisions first, how to assess and look at and do the research necessary in order to make the decision before I actually get into any type of a sales conversation, because it's just not my style. Most of you know that have been listening, have been an executive in the operations, supply chain industry, very senior level experience in corporations from a business strategy standpoint and so forth. So I tend to be more of an educator. I don't have formal training in actual sales. So it was very interesting that she actually stood back and kind of pointed it out and said, you have issues. I'm trying to get you to sell to me and you won't. I was like, well, no, we have to get this first. So with her, it was really, she'd kind of been down a road and had talked to a lot of different internet and web service providers, and had made some decisions in the past that probably weren't the best ones for the business and so forth. So my goal of the day is I want to go through the same process as far as what I went through with her yesterday, because I think this will help you. When you're looking at different web and providers, there are some great third-party tools that can help you make decisions when it comes to picking out who you should work with. And not even who you should work with, but who you should listen to. In our business, I hear so much advice. There's individuals, people who have been playing around on the internet, garage, one-person shops, and so forth, that have so much advice because they're listening, they're going to training, and they're playing, or they're playing with their own website or whatnot, and they always have advice. So that's great. I love that. Keep going to training. Keep getting that information. And over time, you're going to develop a really, really solid infrastructure and knowledge of the internet, search engine optimization, internet marketing as a whole, and so forth. Well, as a business, when you're making the selection of who you're going to work with, this is sometimes one of the biggest decisions you're going to make in your business, especially in the first 1 to 5 years. The decisions that you make in regards to your marketing efforts really kind of guide your business on whether or not you have a chance of success or not. Now, I'm only going to be talking here for 15 minutes, so this is a short call, and this is a very, very, very small piece, but this is down and dirty how to look. So let me go through the situation I was in yesterday so that we can kind of get an idea of the process. First of all, if you go to ciwebgroup.com, on our website we have an FAQ section that has a lot of great resources. How do I evaluate my site? How do I grade my site? And so forth. How do I do a competitor analysis? And actually the competitor analysis is almost identical research process as actually looking at different vendors and service provider of internet marketing, web design, and SEO services. So you can actually use the competitor analysis, which we've created a spreadsheet for you and a process to kind of walk you through that. You can use that when you're looking at different service providers, and you'll get the same information. This is a math game. This is all numbers. So that's going to help you as well. So let me give you the case scenario. We're talking about, she had a company that she was looking at and looking at signing a contract with. So the first thing I said is, who are you working with? And she gave me a name. So I'm going to go into Google and I'll type in that name. And she said, this is who the salesperson is. And that was the name. So I'm kind of going through, and I'm not really seeing anything that is attached to internet marketing, social media, So maybe she's working with a salesperson that hasn't really done anything on the internet as far as marketing themselves. Now, here's the difference. Let me take one of my salespeople, and we'll go look for Kathy Marshall. So for Kathy Marshall, if you were working with Kathy and you went and looked her up, you'd see Kathy Marshall, Fusion Marketing Digital Strategies. Let's see here, Kathy Marshall's Facebook. You'd see Kathy Marshall, Tony Jerry, CI Web Group, and so forth. So you immediately kind of go into being able to determine, okay, this is who this is, and they have some presence out there, right? Well, the next thing is she said, I said, let's go look at the company name, and let's go see what the company does. So it was Intelligent Marketing Strategies. That was the name of the company. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go look at Intelligent Marketing Strategies on Google. So we kind of go through. It's not the first one. There it is. It's the second one. Well, it's interesting because there's a big mistake right off the bat. The website address does not have the www included in it, and I'll explain why that's important. But as I look down, they have one listing, which is on page 1 for their company name, and it's the second one down, and they have no other listings on the page. So to me, that's another red flag. Let me open up another Google. And the next thing we're going to do is type in, we'll use ours as an example, CI Web Group. And when you pull up CI Web Group, there's no chance that you're not going to know who we are. So not only is it the first one, Dallas Internet Marketing and Web Design Group and so forth, but as you go down the page, you're going to see the entire first page is all CI Web Group. This entire second page, Internet Marketing, Web Design, Website Builder, build your own website, design service, SEO pricing, SEO services. There's training opportunities and so forth. And then you could keep going, and you're going to see additional information. This is what your business should look like. Each one of you should really, really have owned the real estate for your business online. If someone is searching by your company name or your name, it's critical that you own your positioning on the internet, because if I'm referred to call Joe's Auto Supply and I go look for Joe's Auto Supply in Plano or Dallas, and I find Joe's Auto Supply, even though it was a referral from a friend of mine, I'm not going to call. So you could be losing very, very important business, referral business, by not taking care of your own company name on the internet. Well, if the company you're hiring to do your internet marketing strategy or execute an internet marketing strategy for you cannot be found or has very limited presence on the internet, that's a red flag as well. So let's go ahead. That's the next thing that we should look for. How is their company positioned online? And, of course, you should be looking for things like reviews and information and so forth as well. So let's go ahead and click on Internet Marketing Strategies, and let's go check out their site. All right, so here comes their website. And let's see here. First thing on the site, I'm just kind of glancing around. I'm not sold on the design, but neither here nor there. And I can tell actually this site is not a custom designed site. This looks like a WordPress free site. So we're going to go down to the bottom, and actually let's go look at the footer. And what we find is this is actually not a custom designed site. This is a free WordPress install with a free WordPress theme applied to it. And the people that own the site are not, they didn't build the site. So if we're going to be hiring somebody to build a website for us, we want to make sure that they can build websites. If they didn't build their own website, that's another red flag I'd put on that list. Next red flag we want to look at. In the URL bar, you're going to notice that the website address is intelligentmarketingstrategies.com, but there's no www. That is, in our business, a big no-no and a very rookie move. Unfortunately, that's just, you don't do that. And the reason is, you've heard other SEO trainings that we've done. Backlinks are critical to your success online. Google will not trust your website unless other people trust it, which the way that Google identifies that your website is trustworthy is through backlinks. Backlink is on my website. I have a link to intelligentmarketingstrategies.com. Now, every website should be set up under the URL www.websiteaddress.com. And if you put in websiteaddress.com without the www, you have to have what's called a 301 redirect, which you can set up for free with your domain registrar. If it's GoDaddy, GoDaddy does that very, very easily. What that does is it makes Google see that www.yourwebsitename.com, and that same thing without the wwws is the same website. That way, if you have another third-party site that is linking back to your site, you're going to get credit for it as a backlink, whether they use the www or not. So that's very important, a 301 redirect, and always set your site up with www. And then the site name. So I'm seeing, just so far there's no content on the front page. They have a bunch of widgets in the side. I understand that they're really looking towards or looking for the conversions. They're trying to get people's contact information right off the bat. There's no phone number on the site. They only have 2 pages, and under their blog category, they have 1 category under their blog role and 1 comment. How do I get started? This seems confusing. And then a couple widgets, and their FeedBurner is broken. So that was not set up. They installed FeedBurner, but they didn't set it up to be able to work on Google Chrome, which is the browser I'm looking on. No likes on their Facebook, only 1 retweet, and they only have 2 pages on their website, Home and Contact Us. Let's go look at Contact Us. We don't know anything about the company. The very generic information. There's no about us. You can't see any pictures of the people representing the company. And our team page is not available. So right now I'm really nervous. I'm very, very nervous about this because I'm not seeing what would make me comfortable in working with a company to do business. Now let's go check it out. All of the things I've said so far, a few of them have been tactical. Some of them have been consumer feeling as far as the site. Some from a conversion standpoint, we have some pretty significant issues with how the site is designed. From a content standpoint, definitely have major issues in only having these 2 pages here represented. And they're definitely they've got sexy bookmarks. This is a plugin. This is Shareaholic. They've got a lot of widgets that are downloaded onto their site. Too many. This is a lot all over the board. So, all right, now let's go look at the numbers because those are all my opinions, right? We're going to grab Internet Marketing, and we're going to go to, you can get to the site websitegrader.com. Websitegrader.com. So actually, let me actually copy the URL because I already had this pulled up. Let's go back to the home page. So this is what it should look like. Website Grader is a third-party tool. It was developed by an amazing company called HubSpot in conjunction with Google and Alexa and a bunch of other sites. I need you to understand something. Website Grader is actually an aggregator. It is not a decision maker. So an aggregator is a piece of technology that goes out to other sites. It reaches out to Google's page ranking service. It grabs Google's page ranking and it pulls it into a report. That's an aggregator. Website Grader reaches out to Alexa, which measures traffic rank and so forth for all the websites in the world, and it grabs that data and it pulls it in here. So this is a very trustworthy site. They do a lot of changes sometimes that make me crazy, but it takes a day or so before they iron out the kinks, and then it's back up. They're always trying to keep it updated and current with industry standards and with other tools and so forth. So you can put any website in here. When you are looking for companies to do business with, please, please, please put their website in here and create a spreadsheet. Like I said, this is a huge investment. So create a spreadsheet and you put Intelligent Marketing Strategies, Yellow7.com, CIWebgroup.com, and you put each one of these sites or each one of these companies' websites, you put it into a spreadsheet. And that spreadsheet we already have ready for you. That's under the how do I do a competitor analysis. All right, so we're going to pull up the site. This is their grade. 70 out of 100 That's their website grade. Now if you go to CI Web Group, actually we have, let's see here, how do I grade my website? It's under the FAQ. So if you click on that, it's going to pull up the website grader, and it's going to give some explanation. 0 to 70. Replace your site. It either has been poorly maintained or coded. 71 to 80. Poorly, now, let me go 0 to 70. So let's say you have a brand new website on the Internet, brand new, just launched. 0 to 70 is okay if it's brand new on the site, but you should be immediately starting to add content, starting to complete the on-page SEO, starting to gain the off-page backlinks in order to get it into the 71 to 80. So it takes a few days. Now, 71 to 80. This is a brand new website launch, 1 to 90 days old. If you had somebody design a site and you didn't give them a lot of content, it's possible that your site could grade lower than that, between 50 and 70 in the first week or so. Again, content is key. If you have a brand new domain name, meaning you just purchased the domain name, it has zero history on the Internet, that's another factor that could keep that site from grading well the second it launches. But anyone who does the due diligence of adding content, on-page SEO and off-page SEO to their site, even if your website starts at a 50 within a 90-day period, you should be able to get it up to an 80. It takes some work. It's not going to happen on its own, but that's the process. Now, if you've done the work and you've added content and you've worked on on-page and off-page SEO, and after 90 days that site still grades under 70, we're talking about having a poor engine built. Something went wrong when it was being designed. It wasn't built properly and so forth. So I'll show you how to look at that. 71 to 80, brand new site. Start with Google indexing, then establish a solid social network with 100 to 300 social media profiles. Each one of those profiles should have a backlink. That will help you with your initial marketing. 80 to 90, this is a new site and it's just starting to gain trust on search engines. Get used to adding new content to your site weekly. Make sure your site validates. Make sure that it's submitted to search engines and that your pages are optimized. At this point, you should be starting an off-page backlinking program. 90 to 95, great job. You're on the right path. Your website is probably 6 months old, or it's 3 months old and you're a major hustler like I was with the new site that I just launched, but major hustler, and you've been doing a good amount of content writing, on-page and off-page SEO. Keep working at it. Traffic is starting to build when you get to the 90 to 95 range. You're starting to get some traffic. Now, 95 to 97, you're starting to generate some consistent traffic. Don't quit now. Keep adding content. Focus on-page and off-page SEO, enter key phrase, link building, and continue article marketing and directory marketing. 98 to 100, you're now an Internet marketer and you're ready to seriously compete online. Keep going. Your competitors are starting to see you climbing the ladder, and you're going to have to fight a lot harder to hold your position to keep up with the great work because you're doing outstanding. So that is something, and you can grade your site right here as well. That's something that's going to help you a lot. So let's go back to this grade. The grade for a marketing company, an Internet marketing company, being 70, again, unfortunately, that's another red flag for me. I don't want somebody building my site that doesn't do a good job with their own site, let alone their client sites, which that's another story. So the next thing, let's go look at their blog grade is fine. Index pages, 919 index pages, so they have been adding content to their site. Readability level is fine. It should be lower, but I have problems with that as well. So metadata, good metadata. It doesn't look too bad. That looks good. Other than some typos. Let's see here. Heading tags, that's good. They have 9 heading tags. These are their heading tags, H1 through H3. And those are leave or apply. Could be better, but we'll leave that alone. More than one H2 tag, not a critical issue, not a big deal. It'd be bad if it said no headings. But because they're using a free WordPress site, that's fine because WordPress is typically set up to be able to handle that. 5 images, 3 of them don't have alt text, so they have not optimized any of the images on their website actually. None of them. Interior page analysis, that's good. You never want this to come back and say, interior pages cannot be read, or content can't be found, or not enough information to see content. So are they optimizing their pages? Not really, kind of. They're giving it a good shot, so we'll leave that alone. Now, domain age. They've been on the Internet for 6 months. More importantly, their domain expires in 5 months. Google, the majority of scam websites on the Internet, the ones that they throw them up, they steal credit card information, they're fake businesses, those types of companies, they typically buy domain names for 1 year, and they throw it up on the site, get mass amounts of traffic through pay-per-click or through off-page advertising or through landing page scams and so forth. Google by nature, if you go and listen or go read the Webmaster Tools, it's going to tell you if you buy a domain name and that domain name is less than 1 year, you are going to be flagged as a potential red flag, as a possible scam site. So that's a biggie. That's another major red flag that would stand out to me. The time online, I don't know if they haven't maybe they're rebranding or something, I don't know. But having a domain name that was only purchased for 1 year and being that new, everything's starting to add up. Not having set up the site with the www, not having built their own website using free WordPress themes and so forth, it's really starting to add up and I'm getting nervous. Now next thing, Moz rank. That's Google's page rank. It's 0. So that means Google doesn't trust their website at all. Very scary. It's very, very scary. So now I'm really concerned. Now linking domains, we've talked about backlinks. Again, absolutely in a panic mode. No other websites are linking back to this site. That means they don't have any third-party validation. Google doesn't trust their website. They've only been out for a couple months. They're scheduled to have their site expire in less than a year. We're just all over the board. We're not sitting in a good position. Looks like they started on Twitter. They have 419 followers. They're following a lot of people. They do have an RSS feed and a conversion form. That's a great part about WordPress. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to keep you from screwing up a lot of stuff, so that's good. Now their traffic rank is in the top 2.9%. So interestingly enough, if they can't be found on the Internet for any search phrases, their Google page rank is 0. They don't have any backlinks. If you search for them, they've got 1 listing, but you have to know their company name in order to find them. Now we're in a lot of red flags, so very scary. At this point, I told her run. I don't know anything else to say. So same thing. Let's go through another one. This is a website. This is for yellow7.com. 89 out of 100, so it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Blog grade, that's fine. They're not doing a huge amount on social media. They only have 56 index pages. Now this is a problem. The page does not contain enough content for meaningful analysis. That's an issue. We do not want to set up a page that's built in tables, which that's often a reason why this happens. Flash is going to make this happen as well. But if the readability level is 0, that means Googlebots can't crawl your site. They can't access the content. And you have a site that is invisible to Googlebots, so not good. SEO looks good. Good page title, good page description. They're using the same. No, they've changed it. So not too bad on the SEO. They've been online for 10 years. So these guys are getting a great amount of visibility. And their grade is much higher than the physical site actually warrants because they have 10 years on the Internet. Time online is going to be a huge asset. So those domain names that are great domain names, keep them. And definitely take advantage of leveraging that time online. 9 years to expire. I would trust that this company is going to be around quite a long time. Google PageRank of 5. After 10 years, is it low? Yes. Does Google trust them? Yeah. Maybe this company is more of a web design and less of an SEO firm. Linking domains after 10 years, 158. Low, absolutely. But at least there's some credibility with that. Twitter grade, okay. RSS feed, good. Conversion forms, again, this is probably the same reason why their content isn't displaying. They probably have a conversion form on their site, but they put it inside of a table, or it's old. It was done before Google doesn't allow tables and so forth. So Okay. Traffic rank, top 7%. It's okay. They're ranking 2.2 million. Again, it depends on how aggressive you want to be. If you're really looking for the most aggressive, are they at the top of the top? Not exactly, but they're definitely 100 times better than the company that we were looking at a minute ago. So let's go ahead and take another one. Let's take CI Web Group. Now, my company just rebranded. So we used to be Compliments International, and we rebranded to CI Web Group. So this is an example of a brand new domain name. If given the proper attention, what you have the ability to do. CI Web Group, 97 out of 100. We haven't integrated the blog yet. Again, this is a brand new site. Index pages, 1,390. Obviously, we practice what we preach and continue to add content. SEO looks good, very clear, very logical. Total headings found, 15. That's great. We've got one that has an extra H2 tag on it. We have 49 images on the site. That's a lot. We've optimized them. If you have too many images on the site, that actually can slow down your site. So as long as you optimize them, you'll be fine. 49 images. All of them have been optimized. So you'll see each one of them has alt text and descriptions. Pages are all showing up. All of them have been optimized properly. That looks good. Great. Clear page titles, clear page descriptions. Now this is an example. I wanted to show you this because this is new. This site has only been on the Internet for 4 months. It's a 6-month-old domain name, brand new. Now this is the example of a site that is showing you, even with a brand new domain name, if you do everything that we recommend, you can have a site that is trusted by Google very quickly. After 6 months, we have the same page rank as a site that's been online for 10 years. So again, we practice what we preach. We're giving good advice. If you take that advice, you're going to do great. This is 10 years and 10 months, Google PageRank of 5. Let me go back here. After only 4 months on the Internet with a 6-month-old domain name, Google PageRank of 5. Google really trusts the site. That's great. Linking domains, this is a baby site, so we just started a backlinking program. We've got 44 backlinks, and that's continuing to build on a monthly basis. You do not want to practice black hat, so you don't want to get in a situation where you're scamming backlinks or you're practicing any black hat practices. We'll have a whole other session on black hat SEO and what happened to JCPenney's and Overstock.com and how dangerous that is. So you have to go into it lightly, but you've got to be aggressive as well without overdoing it. This is a new Twitter account, so after a couple months, a little over 1,200 followers and so forth. RSS feed's great, conversion port's great, and love it. After only 4 months on the Internet, the traffic rank is in the top 1.3%, which is in the top 400,000 websites on the Internet. So that's an example of what you can do if you really dedicate time to the site and you're working with a great company. I have only, again, this was to help you figure out how to select a company that is going to represent you as a digital marketing agency and it's going to help you position yourself accurately on the Internet. You notice when we went and we searched for CI Web Group, there's no question on who it is, what we do, page after page, and so forth. So hopefully this helps. Now this is only step 1. Let's say you narrow it down to 5 companies, all absolutely amazing results on the Internet, and you're really looking at 3 great companies. They all great, between 97 and 100. They all are in the top 1 or 2% in traffic. They all have great positioning on the Internet. You're not seeing any major red flags. Then it really comes down to looking at, but what do they do for their customers? Now remember, different clients choose different packages, so you're going to have to do an apples-to-apples comparison, which means talking to the client and saying, give me sample sites of clients who are spending exactly what I plan on spending. What you don't want to do is, we have clients that are on page 1, 2, and 3 for 15 different key phrases. Well, if you plan on not doing any off-page marketing or not investing in a managed marketing plan or an SEO plan, don't go look at our top clients, because you're not going to get the same results as someone that is investing in those things and wants that number one positioning and is willing to invest in it. If you're not willing to add content to your site, don't go ask for an example of somebody who adds content to their site. So apples to apples is, I'm spending, let's say, $3,500 on my website. I want to see other people who have spent $3,500 on their website. I am not going to do an SEO or a managed marketing plan. Show me people who are not going to do a managed marketing plan or SEO. And I do not want to blog or add content to my website. I'm going to buy it, and it's going to be a cobweb-filled treadmill, and I'm going to put it in my garage, but that's what I need it for. Show me one of those. Apples to apples, make sure that you do that. Take 5 websites from each one of those agencies, the web design agencies, put them side by side, and then if all things are equal, if you're seeing the same results in all of these key performance indicators for all of those sites, then it really comes down to personality and training. It comes down to support. What are their SLAs, or what are their service level expectations for tickets? If you're putting a ticket in the system and you need help, what kind of ongoing training do they have? What's included in that training? Does it just address the technical piece? Does it address technical, operational enhancements, strategic, business strategy, as well as behavioral strategies that are going to help you stay on track with your site? Really dig into those next phases. So I hope this is longer than 15 minutes, but I hope that this really helps you with your decision-making process. Like the lady I was talking about in the beginning when she said, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not. I didn't go to school for that. I've never been in a sales role. My job is to educate you and equip you with the information you need in order to make great decisions for your business. Great decisions. My job is to make sure that you have the information you need to have realistic expectations of what you're going to get. If you believe $500 is a huge investment in SEO for a monthly plan, then my job is to set those expectations and really make things apparent to you and keep you informed of what the reality is. A $500 a month investment in an SEO plan is not a big investment. It might feel like it as a small business owner or a one shop, and I understand that because I was that shop. I started this business, and it was me by myself 24 hours a day running every role that you could imagine, from sales and marketing to product development to research and finance and taxes and HR. I've done all of it. I've been there, I've done that, so I understand. But as I have grown a company from a one-person show through a 40-person company processing over $2.5 million in transactions, I have learned by becoming a master at doing this what it takes personally, professionally, what investment is required, what marketing strategies are required. I've been through that process, so it's in my view, it's my job to share with you what you can expect as a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, a small business owner, a mid-sized business owner, and so forth, what you can expect to need to contribute either in time or in money, what you need in order to be able to make decisions, the bare minimum of education that you need to be able to make decisions about these kind of critical business decisions, and to equip you with third-party information and validation tools that allow you to do the research and make those decisions independently. Like I said, if you get to a point where you do this right, you're not going to waste money, you're not going to have huge missed opportunity, and a year from now you're not going to be talking about the fact that you still can't afford to continue to invest in your business, because you're going to invest properly. Everybody, please attend the rest of our trainings. There is not a lot of opportunities or ways that you can market and grow a business. There's just not. Print and media and regular advertising is not working. We don't buy that way. We know that. We don't make decisions like that. We have 2 ways that we can build a business. 1 is on the ground networking, that's referrals, and 2 is on the internet. Your ability to generate referrals is impacted by your ability to position yourself on the internet. Completely impacted. You don't have a choice. A business doesn't exist without customers. You might be a subject matter expert, a dentist, an attorney, a financial planner, a real estate agent, a mortgage officer. You might be a construction company, a consulting firm, an IT development firm. That is who you are. However, you must become a marketer of your services, not just the executioner or the executor of your services. Without marketing, without new customers, your business will fail. So no one has a choice. It's the reality of business. I have to get new clients. I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. On-the-ground marketing, handshaking, going to networking events, going to Chamber of Commerce meetings, shaking hands, meeting people, that's all fine and dandy. I did the exact same thing. But I did that with one goal, and that was eventually I need to be able to generate business without networking, without going to all of these meetings, without shaking hands. And that transition will only happen by properly positioning yourself to do business and communicate using today's technology that is utilized by the entire American population to make decisions, find decisions on products and services today. That is your internet presence. Without it, you will never be able to physically grow the business. If you're on the street and you're networking and shaking hands and doing referrals and so forth, that's fine, but you're operating in a very, very limited capacity. And eventually you're going to need your business to grow. You're going to need to be able to bring in more business with less resources. That is going to create a margin between your operational expenses and your incoming profit. That margin is your cash flow, and you have to have it. That is a profitable business. So this is a huge decision. How to choose a web design, SEO, social media marketing agency. Make sure that they provide all those services under one roof. The only other roof that you might need to add is maybe a branding and graphics company. They're the design or the creative people. Maybe you have a PR agency and a content writing agency. But outside of that, make sure all your digital stuff is under one roof so that you can have a cohesive strategy, a complementary strategy, and you make sure that all of the things that you need are under that umbrella. Do your research, and you're going to be fine. I hope this is helpful. Have a great day, and please make sure you register and attend our other trainings. You can go to ciwebgroup.com/fusion, ciwebgroup.com/fusion, and that will give you the link to be able to attend previous training sessions that we've done. It will also tell you where to register to get notifications for new classes. And we also do some great giveaways, such as right now we're doing a 1-hour free consultation, a strategy meeting with one of our inbound marketing specialists, and I participate on about 9 out of 10 of those because I love listening to your business strategies and helping you give some guidance on how you're currently positioned and really where you could go with your business by leveraging internet marketing. So make sure you go ciwebgroup.com/fusion. If you're interested in signing up for that 1-hour strategy session, just put your information in here and we'll get in touch with you right away and get you on the calendar. And I can't wait to learn about your business, what your goals are, and help you connect with my network and see how we can grow businesses together. Thanks so much for attending today, and have a great day.
Thank you. Please stand by.